Greetings. A couple of weeks ago, on August 22nd, Berean TV aired an intriguing episode titled, What Makes You a Hypocrite? And the show had a certain irony as early on, Berean aired my video on manipulative academic truce offers. And then, later on, Kelly Richardson came on the show and offered a sort of truce. Now, multiple people in the live chat were noting that the good doctor was proposing precisely the sort of proposal which had been discussed earlier in the show when they showed my video on these truce offers. But afterwards, a number of people raised objections in the comment section of that video. For example, the gentleman from the Journeyman and Woman podcast noted how the good doctor himself has not played by the rules which he suddenly wants to ask others to play by. So too, Shari, the young lady from the Yap Gang, likewise noted that to this day, the good doctor has all sorts of videos going after all sorts of people. And with that in mind, I would comment that it would seem that the good doctor himself recognizes that it is fair to publicly scrutinize claims which others have made in public. Yet, as Shari noted, Kelly wants a sort of special treatment where he can publicly examine the claims of others while his own public claims be shielded from scrutiny out of some sort of respect for him or something like that. And aside from that, Shari brought up another point that I appreciated, which was that I should be within my rights to respond to claims made about me specifically. And that's where this video comes in. There's a lot of different points which could be explored from that discussion, but in this video, I want to focus on one specific charge, which relates to me specifically, and it relates to the topic of highlighted images being sent to scholars, right? You see, at one point in the discussion, while both Kelly and I were on, he repeated a charge which he's made before, and that's the charge that I sent highlighted images of a pew to different scholars, with the implication being that this is somehow a dishonest practice. So I offered the same reply which I had offered the last time this objection came up, and that is that such was done in the context of of his side, sending highlighted images to scholars, including David Bunis. And at this point, Kelly accused me of lying and said matter-of-factly that no highlighted images were sent to David Bunis. So let's watch our short exchange on this point, and then we'll take a look at what his side actually sent to Bunis. And this is just for the record. So here's the clip.
If we really want to really unpack stuff, we can unpack even his video that he did.
Which one?
Even what he sent to the one that he put out there about the Richard Cats, that nonsense. He, in his own video, literally says that he had to write his inscriptions over the pews, right? The writings of the pews, the guide the eyes, so to speak. Why do you need to write something over, superimpose what you wanted to say, and describe over it to a group of, you see what I mean? If these are people that you're sending to, they are specialized in what they do, why do you have to send them an inscription of you superimposing what you believe it says, instead of just saying, you know what, I'm just going to send whatever you come back with that. And
well, on what he just said, there's a few different things. First off, with regards to sending highlighted images to
superimposed on top of the writing,
that was in the context of them sending highlighted images to Bunis. That was the rule they were playing by.
We never sent Brother
Berean to Bunis. And
we had the original emails,
what they think it says.
Brother Berean.
And then after I did the same thing, then they introduced this rule where if you do that, this is what he said. He literally said, after I did what they did, then they introduced this rule where if you send highlighted images, you're being dishonest, you're leading.
So he said Pastor Brown's first email was superimposed, just like you said.
And I'm telling you this, Brother Berean, that is an absolute lie, because Pastor Brown did not send any superimposed images to him.
He absolutely did. He literally
sent anyway. But like I said, and
Okay, so to explain what was being alluded to in that exchange, back in November of 2020, Will Brown sent highlighted images of a pew to the scholar David Bunis, and then working within the same rules that they were working in, the following December, I sent these images to a few different scholars, right? It's two images of a single pew, one highlighted and the other unhighlighted. In short, I sent highlighted images to scholars because they sent highlighted images to at least one scholar at that point, David Bunis. But now Dr. Kelly, as you saw, accuses me of lying about his side sending highlighted images. So I'd like to return to that infamous Boom Church panel discussion, which took place on November 22nd, 2020. And what you see on your screen is a mirror of that show, which was posted to the Hebraic Assembly Scripture Cafe on Facebook the following day. So I'm going to show some clips of Will Brown discussing what he actually sent to David Bunis. Here we go.
I was able to get in contact with him per a reference. Got his email. So I'm showing on the screen. Okay. I'm showing, you see his name here. This is just a screenshot. And we had several conversations. I didn't show everything in the conversation because there was some things we talked about and some things that he had that's pretty much, none of anybody's business, but we just deal with the facts of dealing with the pews and the interpretation of getting to the understanding of it. So I emailed him. You see, he emailed me back. Okay. And so this is the title, and you see there was a response. So this is Benea's work. Okay. This is what I forwarded to him, that what Benea had been working on, looking at. All right. And I'll have Benea to kind of explain some of the process and things that he worked through. So let's go to the next slide. So I sent him, this is a part of the package again, and this is Benea's part that I sent him as well in the packaging. And so we go to the next slide here. And so this is another aspect of it, because we had it tilted from, in landscape, but now this is vertical, the actual picture of it. So it kind of gives you more of a understanding of it.
Okay, so I think at this point it's pretty clear that Will Brown did indeed send highlighted images to David Bunis. Moreover, if you look on the right side of your screen, you notice that he also sent Benaiah Israel's list of proposed characters, proposed strings of characters, right? Now, in contrast to that, the emails that I sent, I did not suggest any specific letters, but Brown sent Bunis images suggesting entire strings of characters, right? And yet, I'm the one who's accused of leading the witness, right? And to drive this home a bit more, ironically, David Bunis himself noted that the one word which he had hesitantly suggested as a possibility for the pew that he looked at was one that he couldn't see without the highlighting or shading which was added to the images which were sent to him. I don't know. I find that just a wee bit ironic in light of the accusations which have come out after the fact. So, while Kelly accused me of lying about this, we nonetheless see that what I said was actually true. Moreover, after accusing me of lying, Kelly suggested that I not respond to his accusation as part of his, truce offer. Honestly, and with all due respect to the good doctor, on multiple levels, it seems that our right honorable friend, the good doctor, has not been using even scales. It's apparently okay for his side to send highlighted images to scholars and, to even suggest strings of characters. But if I do so, I'm dishonestly leading the witness. He publicly and falsely accuses me of lying, but would ask that I not level those sorts of charges against him, even when he's saying things which are false, right? And as was noted by Shari, he reserves the right to make public statements about me, but asks that I not make statements about him. But whatever the case, we can stop here. I'm going to close this video here. I just wanted to make clear that for the record, yes, Kelly's side was sending highlighted images out to scholars. And this seemed important to note since they seem to want to scrub those old videos from the internet and then paint a different picture. But on that note, as always, I welcome any comments, questions, and even criticisms that others might have, right? Unlike Kelly and Brown, I don't censor comments here, so feel free to share your thoughts, whether positive or negative. And with that, God bless.
Why do you need to write something over, superimpose what you wanted to say, and describe over it to a group of, you see what I mean? If these are people that you're sending to, they are specialized in what they do, why do you have to send them an inscription of you superimposing what you believe it says, instead of just saying, you know what, I'm just going to say whatever you come back with that, and like.